So now we will just see that how a cyclic voltammogram is recorded. As you can see that now this the machine is on. You can see from this button machine is on and the shell is on. You can see that this is for the shell is on, and here this window is showing you that voltage and current. As you know that CV is basically a graph of the voltage and the current. Okay, so now you can see over here. Let's see this software, the Nova software which is being used. Okay, let's see first what are the commands that we have over here. Can we go to the commands? Yes, so you can see that how many that commands are here. Okay, you can see that yes, because this cyclic voltammetry is just one experiment of the electrochemical experiments. Electrochemistry is basically a huge subject, and there are so many methods that are being used for different purpose, for different research purpose in this field of electrochemistry. Here you can see that cyclic and linear sweep voltammetry is one of them. Okay, it has like couple of different ways that we can record it. Okay, then the voltammetry analysis is there. Under the voltammetry analysis there are several then methods that this voltammetric analysis can be carried out for depending on what kind of sample is there and what information that we are looking for. Then you can see that chrono methods are there. Okay, again they are being used by professionals like who works on the materials that can show that kind of property. Okay, not for our today's experiment. Today we are going to focus on the cyclic voltammetry. Okay, you can see that impedance is there. Okay, impedance has again like couple of different measurements are there. Okay, so and then data handling analysis and those things are there which we can do using the software once the data is already there. But let's first see that how this software can be used to record a cyclic voltammogram. So for that we already have several procedures already that are saved over here. So that's first we will use this cyclic voltammetry. You can see that we are under this procedure tab now. In the procedure tab, the first thing is that this cyclic voltammetry potential state. Once we click this, now you come to this second window. Okay, in the second window you can see there are like this command is, you can see this cyclic voltammetry potentiostatic is there, and there are several parameters. That parameters depends on you. As I told you in the introduction of this cyclic voltammetry, that what we need to see like where from we should start our experiment. We need to see like how far, like how high the potential we are going to apply in either direction, either positive direction or negative direction. Okay, at what speed we should be recording, those things are there. So here all those functions are there. So for that, and yeah, let's not go into details of each and every one. We directly go to this so-called this tab, the CV staircase. Once you click the CV staircase, you can see that there are so many parameters that we need to set, but the most important ones are that this is the start potential, okay, which is the 0 in this case, and that depends on like that when you start recording a cyclic voltammogram, the initial potential without applying any potential, the current should be 0, right? Okay, so sometimes even at the potential 0 there is some redox process going on, then the current will not be 0, and we need, in that case it become more complicated. We need to first find out where the current is 0, and that is the voltage that we need to apply. But for our today's experiment we have chosen that potassium ferrocyanide, and for that that redox process didn't occur at 0 volt, so we can start with 0 volt without any issue. Upper potential here is 1, lower vertex potential is set at -1. Well, if you click on either one of them, you can change them. Okay, then stop potential means like we start from 0, we come back to 0. That's why it's going to be cycle. So number of crossings is going to be 2 only in this case, but depending on how many cycles we need, we can always change it. Okay, well, other things are that one of the important parameter is this scan rate. Over here it is 0.1 volts per second, or otherwise you can say, more simpler way you can say that this is 100 millivolts per second. Okay, this is the most common speed that is used in recording the cyclic voltammogram. However, if you just click on it, you can make it faster or slower. Okay, depending on the what kind of data you are looking for. Okay, depending on like how much is this step potential, okay, and how far you are going starting to end point and coming back. Depending on that, you can have the estimated number of points. So in this case, if we go from 0 to 1 and then -1 and come back to 0, we are going to have this 1650 points. Okay, all right. Other parameters we don't change much other than the speed and the limits of the potential. Once we do that, once that is there, then you know, and all right, one more parameter that is that this set cell should be on. Well, you can see that there are two, on and off. Cell has to be on, then only you can record the CV. Now let us record the this cyclic voltammogram for, and remember this is only that water that we have taken. Water is as a solvent, so we need to see that there is no important, that redox process should occur for our solvent. So I just click this start button over here. Now you can see that how this cyclic voltammogram appears in this software. You can see some blue points, right? So this blue points is basically this potential is being varied. Start at 0, it goes up to +1. Now coming back to, we have set it to -1, so it will go back to -1. You can see that it's going back to -1. Okay, you can see as it is reaching towards more and more high potential, some current is there. Okay, and it goes back to 0. You see, this goes back to 0. Now this is over. Okay, now this is over. So you can see, well, if you want to give this any name, like this is cyclic, this is procedure. So if you want to give any name to this, this is the procedure, right? So if you want to give any name, you can save the procedure over here. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to not save this procedure because this is already saved for us. I'm going to show you this, how this cyclic voltammogram for water looks like. So in the water, when you will see for any compound, you will see how a cyclic voltammogram looks like, as I already showed you in the introduction. But here you can see there is no important, you can see this is plain, starting from here goes just flat. That means there is no redox process occurring in the solvent, which is good. Coming back again, nothing. From here, if you go over here, there is no well defined response here also. But if you are applying higher potential, then you can see 0.6 or so, you see some current flow is there. That sometimes that oxygen get start reducing to superoxide, and for that we need to exclude all the oxygen, which we did not do in this case. That's why maybe some current we are seeing, and it goes back. But overall, in the water we don't see any important redox process going on. Now next is that we are going to see, let's take this K4FeCN6, and that is iron 2. Let's see if we can see iron 2 to iron 3 in aqueous media. All right.